Hello and good evening, everyone. My name is Bimal Master. I'm the Chief Mentor for IMS in Mumbai. And once again, I welcome you to this special webinar titled Emerging Consumer Behavior Trends. This webinar is part of an initiative by IMS called Management Masterclass, a sneak peek into the management pedagogy. As most of you would know, this initiative is a result of our constant endeavor to impart and enhance our students' knowledge. So we've conceptualized these sessions so that students get a first-hand experience in B-School pedagogy by expert faculty members on different subjects being offered in an MBA course. So this is, it's similar to attending an introductory B-School session on that given topic. It'll help you get a gist of important subjects and also be equipped in making better selections for your MBA courses. Now let me talk a little bit about the topic for today, right? So we're going to talk about emerging consumer behavior trends, right? Now, so as the business world evolves, right, so do consumer habits and tastes. Customer behavior or consumer behavior is the most vital component in crafting a great marketing campaign. However, consumers are only humans, right? And their behavior at times can be erratic as well as unpredictable. What might look like a great marketing approach in a meeting room may therefore could be far less effective in actual practice. So knowing the trends in consumer behavior before they become apparent can give a business an unprecedented advantage over its competitors. So in today's session, we will discover some emerging consumer behavior trends of the new age, and answer some of the questions like what major consumer behavior trends are expected to emerge this year? What are the current consumer behavior trends? How are consumers evolving in terms of their habits, their tastes, and their choices? How can knowledge of current consumer trends give a business an unprecedented advantage? How has the pandemic impacted consumer behavior? How is digital marketing playing an important role? And such other kinds of questions will be addressed in today's session. So to throw more light on this exciting subject and to present her perspective on the topic, I'm pleased to invite Dr. Priyanka Singh, Professor FMS at Manav Rachna International Institute of Research and Studies. Dr. Priyanka has more than 19 years of experience of teaching and research. She has several publications to her credit, including books, book chapters, and a number of papers in various leading international and national journals in the areas of digital marketing, retail marketing, consumer behavior, and brand management. She's the editor-in-chief of the biannual research journal called Journal of Management Research and Business Excellence, and is the former editor of the journals Marketology and Journal of Human and Work Management. She has participated in and organized many workshops, conclaves, and seminars on diverse topics. She's also an avid reader and a passionate blogger. Presently working as the professor of Faculty of Management Studies, FMS, at Manav Rachna International Institute of Research and Studies. She has worked for many organizations of repute in teaching and leadership positions. She's currently the area chair of the marketing area and the program chair of the MBA healthcare program of FMS at Manav Rachna. So it is wonderful to have you with us today, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vimal, for such a nice introduction and setting the stage right for today's topic of discussion. So thank you so much. So as Mr. Vimal has also already introduced you for today's topic, which is emerging trends of consumer behavior that we are going to talk about today. Okay. So as you already know that this is the topic of discussion that we are going to discuss in length, and we are going to learn about the emerging trends of consumer behavior. Because this is the understanding the consumer behavior is the most important thing in a business, right? So if you have a business, you have an established business, or you want to begin a new business, so this is something which a marketer, which a business person, which is an entrepreneur should know beforehand, right? As Sir has rightly mentioned that before this become apparent and this become quite evident, the business person or the entrepreneur should know these trends, right? So that is the topic for today. We are going to discuss about that how consumer behavior is changing in today's scenario, and how businesses can take unprecedented advantage by understanding these emerging changes, and how this can be utilized for growing a business. So right, so that we are going to discuss. So these are you can these are the things which we are going to learn today. That what are the that already mentioned, that the current consumer behavior trends, and how the consumers evolving their habits and taste and choices, like especially during these last 2 years, we all have acknowledged how things are changing, and things are changing so fast. It's I am not talking about you as a consumer different as me as a consumer, right? Like me and you are different as a consumer, so I'm not talking about that difference. I'm talking about the difference, you as a consumer today and you as a consumer 2 years ago, right? So you as a consumer have evolved, right? So now the habits and taste and choices and the preferences, they're different. What we were 2 years ago, now we are a different person. Now we are a different consumer, right? So you have to, once gain knowledge about the business, you take action in the business space. So in that case, it is very important that you understand these changes, and you understand why these changes are happening, right? So that we are going to learn about today. Then of course the pandemic, everybody is talking about pandemic, and pandemic has, it came as a disruption. Like definitely it was something we felt the negative impact of pandemic in our own lives and in our surroundings, right? We have seen the impact on ourselves, on our family members, on the loved one, on the society, right? So we have seen the negative impact. But every negative comes with a positive thing, right? So I would not say it was a complete positive thing that we look forward to. But this has happened, right? We don't have control over such kind of calamities and such kind of crisis. We don't have control over. So what we can do about such kind of crisis, that we can see and check and assess what kind of impact it has had on our lives, on our surroundings, and how this can be utilized to create something positive, right? So we are going to talk about that also, that how pandemic has impacted consumer behavior, right? So we'll talk in context of the business, we'll talk in context of the consumer. So how pandemic has changed consumers, right? So it has changed, like the kind of changes we expected are going to happen in coming 10 years. Due to this pandemic, those changes happened within 2 years, a span of 2 years, right? So this is the kind of impact it has had on our lives, and as consumer it has impacted us. Then definitely digital is playing an important role. We are going to learn about that, because digital has changed the game completely, right? So those traditional businesses or the conventional businesses which are not utilizing the power of digital, they are going to be the laggards in this race. So those who are doing it well, that's very good for them. Those who have started doing it, they have to pick up the pace in this area. And those who are untouched with this, they are not going to survive in another 3-4 years. So that has changed the game plan. So we are going to learn about that, how digital is playing an important role. And then definitely this discussion will lead to how the knowledge of current consumer trends can give a business an unprecedented advantage, right? Because you people would be opting for the MBA program, okay, management masters of business administration. So you should know these business nitty-gritties. You have to understand these business nitty-gritties. So that we are going to talk about, that how these changes that we are discussing today, so how they are going to that can be utilized by a business for their own advantages, right? Now when we are talking about these changes, So at the first place, we should know that why we are talking about these changes. What happened during these 3 4 years or 2 years, that why the change is so fast, right? So the drivers of the change that we are discussing today. So the rising income, definitely that's one, because now people have more disposable income. They spend on things which they were not spending earlier. Now they spend on luxuries also, right? So there is high disposable income, so that's why the standard of living is rising. That's why people are demanding for those products which they did not demand 5 years back, right? So rising income is one of the drivers of these changes, right? Second one is the information centered shopping. So nowadays people are more informed than the consumer 5 years back. So now people are more informed, they take information on internet, right? So now the information is available, it's one click away, right? So all the kind of information, you before a consumer, before a person decide to buy a product, there is the product information. The person checks the information on the website, on their own website, then the others website. They also check the competitors information, they also check about the prices, competitive prices, comparative prices. They also check about the reviews, right? So which was not possible earlier, now it is possible. You can check before buying a product, you can check the reviews, right? So earlier what was happened, that the feedback was the kind of feedback those your friends, your families, or the one the neighbors. So only those kind of people could share the feedback of a product or service with you. But nowadays it is possible that you check the reviews, and maybe someone stranger, definitely someone stranger, someone unknown is going to tell you about that how this product works. This is a crappy product, this is not the right product, you should not buy it, right? So those kind of things are possible today, and consumer is informed, right? So you cannot take advantage of the consumer's ignorance, which companies could done earlier. Then the other changes, if we talk about the other drivers, exposure to new ideas and technology. Now the technology is changing so fast, and it is it is evolving at such a fast pace that people have exposure to new ideas and technologies. So they, like for example, if we talk about the media, new age media, like you all are on social media, present on social media, we are users of social media. Now there are different types of social media platforms evolving. You can join a community, there's an Instagram, there's a TikTok, there's a Facebook, there's LinkedIn. So all have different purpose. You are present on these social media, and then you are socializing on these social media depending on the kind of purpose you have. If you want to socially connect with the people, then Facebook is there for you, right? If you want to showcase your skill set, or you want to follow a brand, Instagram is for you. If you want to connect with people professionally, LinkedIn is for you, right? So the media is changing, how people connect with others, that's changing, right? So if you talk about your parents age, so how they connected with people, so that was quite different, right? So even if we talk about 5 years back, how you were connected with people and how small your world was, so that also we can connect that this happened in last 2 to 5 years. Okay, so people are exposed to new ideas and technology, so that is one reason that why this change is happening at such a fast pace. Then definitely the recent pandemic that we discussed, that the pandemic has changed everybody's life upside down, right? Like we are having this session here online, you must have attended the classes online. You would have switched from offline to online mode. Then now there were number of online platforms which developed during this pandemic period. So a lot of habits and a lot of preferences, a lot of behavior has changed, right? So behavior is something, students, which is not easy to change, right? So when we talk about the business or marketing, it's the behavior that you have to change. And researchers claim that the behavior is not that easy. It takes time, it takes years time to change something which is imbibed in a person. But due to this pandemic, that change happened so fast that now we all see that change. The need for balanced life, I would say this is an outcome of pandemic only, because we slowed down a bit during this pandemic, because lockdown was there, we all were inside our home, we were connected, reconnected with the family. In fact, I must say, because before pandemic we all were busy doing our own stuff. The child was busy doing his or her own things, the parents were busy doing their own thing. So everybody was busy in their own life. But due to this lockdown and all, the situation we all faced, so people will reconnected with the family, they got the quality time with the family which they did not devote earlier. So that kind of requirement, people realize that this is something which is required, right? So nothing is going to work in the long term if your health and your quality time and your family time is not there with you, right? So balanced life is something which was. Now let us talk about, so these were the drivers of the change that we are going to discuss now. So we already know that why the changes happened, why these changes have happened. So now let us talk about the what trends are changing, what are the emerging trends in the consumer behavior. So the first one, as you all know, accelerated online buying, and I'm sure that you all would agree with me that this has happened so fast that in country like India, 5 years ago, we never thought that we are going to, buy vegetables and fruits online. It's like something like it is available, every nook and corner it is available. Okay, so the hawkers and the vendors are there who are selling vegetables and the fruits. But now this has happened that people are buying even these small things, daily routine things online. So online buying accelerated, during this time. So this change trend is changing now. I tell you the implication for businesses. If this change is happening, so what does it mean for the businesses? It means the business has to be omnipresent, right? It's not that you open an offline store and it is going to do well for you. No, you have to be omnipresent. When your customer is buying online, when your customer is checking reviews online, when your customer is seeking information online, so that means you have to be present there, right? You have to create omni channels, you have to be omnipresent communication should be there, which is aligned on all the the platforms that you're present on. So those who are offline, they have to come online. I mean, it is, it is by force, by the market force, by the consumer force, those businesses have to come online. Now you also, you would see that you check so many websites, so many products are there, so many online, these marketplaces are there. Initially, in India, it was said, the researchers claimed that the people in India are not going to, it is not going to be easy to change people in India, and they don't trust paying online. That was the biggest thing, that if you don't see and touch the thing, you will not trust. And most important is that when it comes to paying online, people don't trust paying online. They are more comfortable offline buying and paying offline, right? So that's one change. Moving on, and the second, we have covered in this presentation, I have covered just the biggest changes which are happening in this space. So the next change that we are going to discuss is rise of technology based products and services. So what happened, that we became more tech savvy in these 2 years. We are more prone to use the technology based product like fintech. So if I talk about fintech and edutech, right, so these two areas, they were impacted, positively impacted by the technology. There were a number of products which came in this fintech product. If you invest, like if you people invest, so you must have heard about the platforms like Zerodha, right? So Zerodha is one platform which gives you liberty to invest in stocks, directly invest in stock, which the liberty was not there earlier, right? There was a process, there were a lot of formalities which you have to complete before you start investing. So now that has changed, it has become easier to invest now. Even a student like you can invest in if you want to invest in stock or mutual fund, it has become so easy nowadays. If and if we talk about the edutech, so definitely it has given a different shape to the industry. I would call it disruption, right? So the education industry has been disrupted by technology, and the change has been sped up by this pandemic. So technology has changed, so whatever changes would have happened in the coming 5 years, now those changes happened in within a span of 2 years, right? So we can see the platforms like Byju's, Khan Academy. So Khan Academy was there earlier, but the Byju's, the kind of growth Byju's has made, and these online platforms have made. Now, if we talk about the formal education, so there's a parallel system which is running to these parallel education, like MOOC courses are available. So online courses are available to you if you want to grow in certain field. So definitely you can you can check a course, and you can um, you know take that course online. And there are so many platforms available, like Coursera is there, Udemy is there, right? There are platforms available, there's no dearth of platforms. You can go and you can check the courses related to your own field, and you can complete that course within your own comfort and convenience, right? Now it's unlike the formal education that you have to go to the university and you have to sit at that particular time only if you want to take that class, right? So now the game has changed, right? So this is another trend which is coming up here. Okay. So the next one is growing importance of content marketing. You must have heard about, I mean, we all consume content on daily basis. Like we all, visit, we browse internet, and then we are on social media. So what we are doing on social media, what we are doing on internet, we are consuming some kind of content, right? So every time we are using internet, we are consuming content, right? It may be in the form of a written content like blog. If you're reading about some topic, or some if you're learning about some product, so that is a kind of content only, right? If you're watching a video, that's a content. You're watching a video content. You're watching an audio, maybe related to some course. You're watching some audio, or maybe related to some kind of motivational video you're watching, some kind of business related video you're watching. So these are all content, and whenever we are on internet, we are consuming content, right? So now what is the implication of this to the business? The implication is that we have to we means the businesses, right? So businesses have to be the king of content, right? They should have control over content. So suppose if I am in the business of let's say online education, maybe I have developed an online course, and I want people to reach out to that course, and that may be related to let's say digital marketing, right? So what I have to do, to reach out to people, reach out to students who are looking for digital content. So what I have to do, I have to reach out to them. How can I reach out to them? I can't do the direct selling to them. I mean directly reach out to them, like saying that this is my course and I have developed this course and there's so many so and so feature. No, first I have to connect the segment with the content which I'm sharing, right? So I have to give them information, maybe whatsoever format is suitable for them, maybe the video format, maybe the audio format, maybe the written format. So whatever is suitable for them, whatever they like. So depending on that, I have to reach out to them, right? So I'll find out what those students are looking for, those who want to take a course in digital marketing, what they are looking for. So I'll have to develop content around that topic. Okay. So that kind of thing is there in today's market. So content marketing is what every business has to take care, off, right? And you will see the trend that businesses, they are developing a lot of content these days, right? So according to one research on social media, on Instagram especially, the 80% of Instagram users, they are following at least one brand on Instagram, right? So that is according to one research. So that means what is happening? So what they are saying, they're not directly talking about their product or service. They are talking about what the target segment need, right? What kind of content they want, what kind of information they want. So if I have to reach to the students who are looking for a course of digital marketing, so I have to develop the content around that, so that I can connect to those people, I can connect to their need, and then I can direct them to the kind of product or services which I have developed or I have to offer, right? Okay, this is the another thing which is happening: increased focus on green, cruelty-free, environment-friendly products. Right, so people are now more keen to join for green, focus on green, cruelty-free, environmental-friendly products. Now people they look for these products. They're more conscious about these things, which they were not earlier, right? So whatever they want to consume, whatever they want to buy, they want to go for the green product, they want to go for the cruelty free product, like vegan diet is something which is nowadays, it's very common after Virat Kohli, and there's so many celebrities who have joined this vegan of this vegan diet, right? So now people want to use those products which are environment friendly, which are green, and which are cruelty free. So this is one example. Beyond Meat is one, it's a startup which is started 2 3 years ago, and it is doing very very well in the markets, right? So this is a plant based it's a plant based protein. So they offer plant based protein, and they have named their products like this only. So plant based Beyond Meat, or plant based burger patty. So Beyond Beef, Beyond Meat, right? So this kind of products they are offering in the marketplace. So this is a new trend that people are quite conscious about, the kind of product they are using, the packaging on the product. So that is one thing which the marketers and the business person and the entrepreneurs, they have to keep in mind while doing packaging or developing their product. Now this is another thing, that people have become more health conscious, right? So people now, during the pandemic and after pandemic, now they are more health conscious. They want to focus on their health, right? Which earlier they may ignore, right? So the pace of the life was so fast that the people did not have time to focus on their health. But now if you see that people are more health conscious, they want to prioritize their health before anything else, right? So before anything else they want to, and this trend is picking up in the market, and you can see it in the numbers also, right? So like we talk about the organic products these days, so organic products, they are doing so well in number. So those companies which are dealing in the organic products, they are growing at a at a whooping 24% CAGR, right? So that's that nowadays, at present, that has become 824 billion dollar industry. So that has become the organic industry, and it is growing at a 24% rate. So that means it has an immense potential. So why that growth is there? Because people have become health conscious, right? So the number which we see in the marketplace, those are the reflections of uh, people's behavior, the consumers behavior, right? So something changed in the market, so that's why it reflects in the numbers. So they are more health conscious now. They are looking for those kind of products which save their time, and which can to do, like you see a lot of applications are there. It's the time for applications, right? So no more and more applications are being developed, and people are looking for those kind of products which can save their time. Okay, so there's one application which, while you speak, and it can write for you. It can it can create a written document for the same speech that you do, right? So number of applications are there for this thing. So these kind of products, they are doing very well. You people are looking for such kind of products because time has become a kind of money for the people. The time has become something which is people do not have. Okay, so what they are looking for, they are looking for the kind of product which can save them time. Okay, so that kind of products are going to do well in the coming times. Growing interest in the customized products. So customized products are going to do well in the coming future. If you plan to do a business tomorrow, maybe. So I mean, you have to go for the personalization and the customization. That's very important because that's what the customer need today. It's not that the business has produced one is manufactured one product and that same product is for all, right? So I want the kind of need I have. So I want that that need should be fulfilled as per my requirements. Okay, like for example, Skin Craft is one company which is doing the customization. Like once I also ordered one uh, hair care products from this company. So what they do that there's a form, there's a well planned form. So they ask about the conditions. You have to fill up the form, and they'll ask about a number of things from you, right? Whether you're facing this problem, is this the problem, is your scalp dry, what is the nature of your skin. So all these questions they used to ask, and then they also diagnose the kind of the problem that you have. Maybe I ordered for this hair care product. So they at the last they used to summarize the kind of products you require and the kind of problem that you have, and accordingly they create the product at the back end and they deliver to you at your doorstep. So these are the kind of products which are going to do well in the coming years. Okay, so more customization is what the customer want, more personalization, and then it's a more value based spending, right? So spending has to be value based. It can't be like a customer has become cautious nowadays. They want value based spending. So every penny they used to spend, they want value out of it. So that is the trend for the day. Rise of female decision maker. So female decision maker, now the female has to play an important role in the family and in the decision making system. Right now, this is why we are talking about this change. We are talking about this change because it has an impact for the business, right? The businesses have to understand this thing, that who is the decision maker. Now there's a change in the decision making. The females have become they're assuming an important role in decision making. So you have to adapt your policies and the strategies as per the kind of change in decision maker, right? So that's the implication for the businesses for when you see these changes. Then definitely this is one thing which is happening, especially in India. I mean, definitely this is one change which is happening for the Indian customer, that they have a preference of Indian brands over the international brand. So this is you must have seen now with a Make in India, Made in India campaign. So this is something which actually is there in the minds of the people. It has settled down in the minds of people that yes, the Indian, they prefer the Indian brands. When you go for the earlier, when people were going for the international brand, there was a mindset that yes, international brands are more superior as compared to the Indian brands. So that was somewhere the mindset. Now this mindset has changed. It's changing that people prefer Indian brands. And you see, if you look at the number, you will see yourself that the Indian brands are doing very well these days. Right now, people are promoting, people are buying Indian brands. They check the label. When they go for buying something, they check the label of the brand. They check, where it is manufactured. So Indian brands have started doing very well, right? So these are the major changes, which I want to discuss with you today, because definitely you are going to take admission in the management course, in the business administration course. So these things are important for you to understand, because today, in today's world, you can't be late by even 5-10 minutes. You have to be bang on time. So that means the changes which are happening, you should be aware of that, right? So if if you just lose track of the changes, you can't survive in the marketplace. So those kind of things you should keep in mind, and um, you should learn about it, right? So that is all the the changes, the major changes we I wanted to discuss with you today. So um, so thank you so much for listening from my side.
So that brings us to the end of today's session. Thank you once again, Dr. Priyanka, for a very illuminating session. I'm sure it has been of immense value to our students. So thank you for taking time out from your schedule and addressing our students. Right?
Thank you so much, Mr. Bimal, for inviting, and thank you so much, all the students, for being here and listening. And I hope that some of the things which we discussed today. I mean, you must have learned something new, and definitely, I would love to hear from you in future also if you have some questions related to it or otherwise also. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, IMS. And on behalf of Faculty of Management Studies, MRIIRS, Manav Rachna International Institute of Research and Studies, I say thanks to this platform. Thank you, Mr. Bimal. Thank you so much for inviting. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So guys, that's all that we have for you today. Thank you for joining us, and I will see you again for our next session.